Hi, everybody, and welcome to the Pat Jones Show. I'm Robbie Robertson, along with Oklahoma State head football coach Pat Jones. This past weekend, Oklahoma State opened Big 8 conference play by traveling to 14th-ranked Nebraska. The Cowboys lost the game 55-0 in a game, Pat, that was marked by big plays, a tremendous win, and which can be directly attributed to great field position for Nebraska almost all day.
Well, we had thought going in, Robbie, again, that we were going to have to play fanatically and extremely well defensively, and they would probably need to help us a little bit and get involved in a field position game and punt the ball well, keep them bottled up. If there were big plays, obviously there were big plays that occurred, the long run that Calvin Jones, tailback, breaks off, which we're going to see here in a little while, we were battling around with them pretty good. They take the ball and move it down the field initially and just piecemeal it down there, which you don't like, but in all honesty, it didn't surprise me. We stopped them a couple of times out there, actually moved the ball a little bit. We never did get good field position. I think like 5 of their 8 scoring drives were 55 yards or less. That's too tough a duty against guys this good when they can run the ball and they can roll those tailbacks at you. They're a very good football team. Scott Tyner, our punter, at the times he punted with the wind, kicked like, I think 4 times for a 50-yard something average, and then 7 punts against the wind went for like a 23-yard average. So, again, the wind was a factor. You know, we had to play flawlessly, and they would have had to help us, neither which occurred.
All right, let's take a look at the highlights, and we'll be able to show you, especially some of the punts that the wind really does affect. It was a beautiful, sunshiny day, but lots of wind. We'll pick it up. Nebraska took their opening drive and scored, so we'll pick it up with our first possession, Pat. And Andy Loveland having a little trouble getting the signal to the players.
Well, we were doing some things. The thrust of our game plan was to let Andy, and one of the best things Andy does is read fronts and get us in a package of plays that were fairly low risk, but that gave us a chance. Actually, Robbie, we ended up for the day, I think, rushing the ball for almost 200 yards, which is about as good as we've ever done against them. Andy did a nice job, again, of getting us in the right plays, and particularly we wanted to establish it, and we were in a series of things where you really disregard down and distance. I mean, sometimes, again, it's 3rd and 7, you end up running the fullback and this sort of stuff here. And Terry Henley, who I think had a good day, made a nice play right here. Defensively, in spots, I thought we played well. Again, we'll see them. The big plays, it was kind of feast or famine. We'd rock along and again, play well. They wouldn't just necessarily gnaw us up. They never did help us. They never did turn the ball over. And then, boom, they'd get a long run or a long pass. There were several exchanges that went on in here when, again, here's a little dump off, and they don't hit that. When they had pretty good field position, we went out there and stopped them, force a punt here. Again, this is going into the wind right here, so you can see it. Well, people are afraid to field the ball. We were, they were. We had fairly good field position here. Again, while we were going downwind, okay, you can see the Mark Spatz, the fullback. When we looked at things, okay, here's Mark Williams right here. We looked at things and we were getting positive yardage. Here's a sweep, and we ran it right into the teeth of things. And they're a good defensive football team. They can really, really run. But on the same hand, I can't say we were totally inept in the running game because we weren't. They get a penalty right here, which backs them up. As the ball hit the ground, you can't fair catch it. Now, this is real big because he hits a crack right here. We had a corner blitz on from the other side, which gave us one less defender in depth. Calvin Jones hits air, and this is why they're so dangerous. This is a 90-yard run. We had them going into the wind. We had, if we had stopped them, we would have had good field position. Right. And now we come back and hit the counter play. They were able to man up on our wide receivers and let the free safety just essentially be another linebacker, which we knew, which we saw. And again, we just said we're going to, go and just hammer bang away with it. This was a 3rd and 2. We checked to the right thing. They were able to, again, to play our receivers and our tight ends just man to man. In all honesty, there wasn't a heck of a lot we could do about it at the time.
And Tyner kicking with the wind boots that one 52 yards, but wait till you see him go the other way.
Well, yeah, again, he had a good day with the wind. They run a counter play, nice play Woolridge, a good play Richie Ainsley. I think Ainsley played well throughout. Again, they didn't just line up and gash us every play, which in all honesty, I've seen them do against us when we had pretty talented units. But we didn't go wholesale blitz on them for several reasons, which I really don't want to get into. Now they hit this when you can get their guys in the open field. So I'm saying when they get their skill players in the open field, they are really, really dangerous. Try to run a little down the line option, nothing going there. Again, they were able to just do some of this stuff here. You can see them run up inside. We've got people around the football. Well, I think we're banging them around pretty good. Out here they run the little option, which they're so famous for. Good play, Richie Ainsley. You can see Ainsley showing up all over the place. Stop them, force a punt. They get it off. Nothing real glamorous there, but again, now that ball goes out on the 11th, so that's what the wind's doing right there.
And we end the first quarter trailing 13-0. Now we pick it up our first possession here in the second quarter. Okay.
Well, we get a first down here. You can see we ran the fullback, made some yardage. Okay, run the fullback again. We were actually in our goal line formation, what we call jumbo, with both fullbacks in the ball game and just trying to bang it out. Okay, we went the wrong way. Fullback, this happened here. We alternate John White between tailback and fullback because of some injuries, and John's not a bad football player. Went the wrong way a couple of times. Andy ended up having to keep it there. You can see they've got the ball out around midfield. Here they give it off again, and there's there's Brown right here. We've got people around the football. We're a better defensive football team than to give up 55 points. I'm not saying we're the answer, but again, these people here, if you give them enough cracks at it, they're plenty dangerous enough with their skills. So we're having a hard time tackling Grant right there, and we've got him for a lost fourth down. They sneak it and make it. Yeah, when they're playing with the ball, particularly down on your end of the field.
Now here's a big play. Watch this. This is a touchdown pass, and look how close Scotty Harmon comes to getting that.
Well, it happened coming right at us on the sidelines. It looked like that Scotty, I thought he was going to intercept the ball. And there was a nice throw and catch on their part. See, he knows he came extremely close to it right there. You can't fault him. He was being aggressive and going after it. Okay, all right, here's Mark Williams right here. We got the counter play going a little bit. Okay, here's a sweep. We're running hard. We did not play Denson again. Denson had a neck injury. Okay, here's Mark Williams breaking a draw again. Raphael had not practiced much during the week. Felt like he could play. Was still a little bit. Watch this.
Now look at that punt. Yeah. I mean, it's like a knuckleball, and it goes 8 yards, and Nebraska ends up with it at your 32-yard line. That's just pretty tough to ask your defense to keep them out of there.
That's tough duty. See, we've got it played at the point of attack. Grant has got enough running ability to come out the backside and basically scramble and get it in. They're too good and too explosive with their skill. Okay, look here. Here's John White. This is a 40-yard run right here. Nice job, John. This was the most that John's had. John ended up with, I think, about 65 yards for the day and had a 25-yard run called back. Again, we're doing a better job of running this counter, getting a hat on a hat, and you can see get John loose into the open field. Good day for John White. Really pleased with him. This is good, and this will help our football team that he and Mark Williams play as well as they did from the tailback position.
We go to halftime. The Cowboys are trailing 34-0. Stay with us. We'll have second half highlights as the Pat Jones Show returns right after this. Oklahoma State trailing Nebraska 34-0 at halftime. Let's get to the second half highlights. And the Cowboys get the ball, but you got to go against the wind, Pat, here in the third quarter.
Well, you can see we're running with two tight ends and essentially goal line stuff. And we're, in all honesty, sure, we're scared to do things throwing the ball. It's a good job, Roger Franks. Roger's been a little bit nicked up, but nice job of him breaking back in behind the nose guard. Good job by the left side of our line as far as cutting them off, and good job, Roger Franks. Again, nothing real fancy here. Here's this counter play, and boy, it's hard to sustain blocks against them consistently. Okay, the tailback went the wrong way on the draw. This Andy, man, they drilled him pretty good. I mean, he got stung pretty good on that. Turn around and run a sweep to Mark. They ran in behind a block, and you can see guys showing up all over the place. But again, throwing the ball into this wind backed up, no future in that at all. Okay, here we come back. They've got the ball out around midfield. Here they go with the option play. All right, good job, Ainsley. I thought we had that one right there, and we couldn't get a hold of it. They never did turn. This is the only time I think the ball came close to being turned over from their standpoint. There's Rich Ainsley butting him. Ball comes out, and oh, mercy, we just almost got on it twice and couldn't. They get it. Again, sure, as good as they are, they got to help you a little bit. Okay, here's Grant back to throw. Fires deep. okay, threw the ball out of bounds. Their wide receivers have probably got more speed than I've seen them in several years. Okay, Andy comes out on a bootleg. Okay, nice throw here. Cheatwood could not get his feet down in bounds or got knocked out. One of the two. Okay, come back. All right, run the sweep. Here's John White again. You see free safety showing up. John really got turned up the field well. All right, draw play right here. You know, this is not real complicated looking stuff, but yeah, watch this.
Now
punt.
look at this.
Yeah.
I mean, this is coming back towards Tyner, and then takes a bad bounce, and that's a 4-yard punt, folks. And Scott Tyner said he thought he hit it well.
Yeah, again, to give the ball off to the fullback, make a little bit here. Okay, Grant in the ball game, run the tailback up. Not a whole lot. Again, they're down there on our end of the field, try to run him up. But this was 4th down play right there. Going forward on 4th, don't make it. You can see where he's going. We play. There's Cornell Cannon right up in there, turning back around. Richie Ainsley, who again I think played well. We get him stopped down there on the end of the field. So okay, here we are, but going back with again what we call the jumbo formation. They jumboed the fullback there pretty good. The linebacker stuck him. Okay, again there were some things triggering this. Again, we were giving some either/or options. All right, here's a draw play. Mark Williams, 1st down here. You know, I come back to the standpoint of the same play again. That we came out not counting minus plays with right at 200 yards rushing, and we've done a lot worse than that. Again, with some 10-win football teams against these people before. So again, okay, here we go. Turn around, toss to Mark Williams. Nothing cooking out there. Hard to get around them. Obviously, they've got enough team speed and hard to stay in block. If Mark could have seen that there was a gash up inside, Mark tried to jump it out, and they hit him in the head. But again, I think for the day, Mark Williams played well.
Once again, Nebraska's got it out around midfield after a 30-yard punt by Tyner.
Hey, run a little old bootleg. Okay, here you go. Give the ball off back inside. Again, boy, you miss a tackle on these people, and they're on you so rapidly, and they're powerful. There's our friend the wind again, our enemy the wind. Now Loveland is out the ball game. We tried to run a little bootleg, and they mangled him and forced a turnover down in there. And I really don't know. Again, he hurt his knee and ankle a little bit. So we've got Ray Marrow in the ball game, and here's Mark jumping to the outside. I really was proud of the way that Ray handled himself from the standpoint that we've just had him back at quarterback a week. You know, we'd moved him to receiver, and then because of leaving a quarterback at home, we put him back over there. And again, it was a sneak for a 1st down. But I thought, by and large, considering the circumstances, that Ray handled himself pretty good. Again, it's fixing to wrap it up. No real future in doing anything other than just hammer that doggone thing in there, and let's see if we can get on the plane and get on back to Stillwater.
And the final score is Nebraska 55, Oklahoma State nothing. And Pat, but when you look at it and understand the speed and physicalness of the Nebraska defense, the game plans seem to work and seem to be the proper thing to do.
Well, you can't, again, factor in. It's hard to factor in win.
Right.
Again, we consider, see, Loveland did not play any in the 4th quarter. He gets his knee and ankle hurt in the 3rd quarter going against the wind. So we, in essence, have it 1 quarter going with the wind. And again, I made a remark yesterday in the post-game press conference. I mean, I watch us every day. And in certain things, it needs to be pretty good circumstances for us to be able to do certain things. Going against the wind is not a good circumstance. Going against a defensive unit with this much speed is not. Again, I come back to, you know, a ball game like this, I think you kind of hunt up things that you did well. And I come back to that the tailback position had almost 150 yards rushing. I thought the fullbacks ran well. We thought that Andy, when he was in there, handled the check with me and the audible stuff pretty well. Again, defensively in spots, I thought we played well. Nebraska got a good football team. Yeah. I thought going in there wasn't a lot of difference with them in Washington. Washington was ranked #1 in the country. These guys had an open date to got to get their wounds licked from Seattle. And obviously they were ready to play. I don't think that we were not ready to play. I think their big plays just hit us in the head. You get into the wind, you can't do anything.
Pretty tough place to play. Stay with us. The Pat Jones Show will continue. We'll have the play of the week. We'll be back right after this. The play of the week is brought to you by Southwest Airlines. 2nd quarter, John White from the tailback spot, 44 yards.
This is a nice run. Again, John is a guy that continues to come on. He's got pretty good speed. I mean, he's not slow. I won't say he's a a sprint champion or anything like that, but he's got good speed. This counterplay gives us a little bit more variety in the running game. Again, we're really pleased with what John is doing. It's tough duty fullback, tailback, but John's doing a nice job of handling both.
5 games into the season now. Loveland, Porter, Merrow have all played at quarterback. How do you assess that position and talk about where your offense is now as we get focused on Big 8 play?
Well, obviously, right now, this 30 seconds, I don't know what Loveland's injury status is. We did not think that it was really bad. We thought it was a mild sprain of the knee, and he hurt his ankle a little bit. Again, I don't know how what'll happen there. Hopefully, we can get Gary Porter back out and practice at quarterback, see what Andy's injury situation is, keep Ray on the back burner, and maybe work him some at receiver too, because I think he's a guy we need to get something out of. See what we can do with the tailback position, see how Denson's health status is, because we didn't play him at all because of the injury to his neck against Nebraska. I'm not so ignorant to think or naive enough to think that we can go in and just run the ball all the time. I think between either or check plays, pass run stuff, I can't remember how many we actually called and then checked out of, or times that we had passes called and either took a sack or didn't do so, just fire it out there. But we were trying to establish the balance. I know that. We're not trying to get landlocked. On the same hand, it's hard to say I'm going to go to Lincoln into a 35-mile-an-hour wind and establish balance. That's too tough right there for us. So now let's see what we're doing at quarterback. Let's see what we can get in practice this week, obviously to get ready to get the balance that it takes to move to football.
All right, and the Cowboys will be home for 2 consecutive weeks as Missouri and Iowa State comes to town. We'll talk about that a little bit more in just a few minutes. We'll take a final break. We'll come back with Cowboy Magic Moment. You stay with us. The Pat Jones Show continues right after this. This Cowboy Magic Moment is brought to you by Johnson's of Kingfisher and Chickasha. Oklahoma State has established a reputation as Tailback U. Thurman Thomas was one of the most talented running backs in Cowboy history. The 2-time All-America rushed for a school record 4,595 yards. Thomas was a first-round selection of the Buffalo Bills in 1988 and was the NFL's most valuable player in 1991. Thurman Thomas, another Cowboy Magic Moment. It's got great moves in the end zone, too, Pat.
Well, you know, there was an interesting article here this week in Sporting News about Thurman. I know, which I can't remember, the writer had called a couple of weeks ago, and big feature on Thurman. I know Thurman has kind of gotten some bad raps and whatnot. I don't know that we've ever had anybody here, as far as from a coach to a player relationship, that was any better to deal with on a daily basis. Is such a competitor and had a great personality. He's the kind of guy that, I think he does the same thing up to Buffalo from my understanding. It just makes you have a good practice because of his enthusiasm and the way he goes about things. And again, you know, he had that knee injury in '86. He's just, I think he's the second leading rusher in the history of the Big 8. And it could have legitimately won a Heisman Trophy himself had that knee injury not occurred. In fact, he had talked to, I think, Steve Buster, our sports information director, last week, and Buffalo's got an open date, and if he doesn't have to stay up there for whatever reason, he's going to try to get down for this Missouri ball game. But Missouri here, we haven't lost at home. We've got a Missouri-Iowa State, not to be looking ahead, but again, this is a real crucial swing, that crucial 2 weeks, crucial 1 week for our football team. Again, I thought against Tulsa, here our last outing at home, I thought our crowd was great and made a lot of difference in the outcome of that close ball game. I would like to think that could happen again. Missouri just lost a close ball game on television to Colorado, held them without a touchdown. Other than that, Missouri's better. It will not be easy for us, but it is something that can get done that we need to get done.
Would you anticipate, and I know there are a lot of elements involved in that Missouri-Colorado game, rain and cold and that sort of thing, would you anticipate them to throw?
Oh, I think they'll have a blend. They've run and thrown, but again, they've got some talent offensively.
Okay, very good. Good luck to you, Coach. Cowboys are home on Saturday to take on the Missouri Tigers. There are some tickets available, so hope that you can get out to Lewis Field. For Pat Jones and for Oklahoma State University, I'm Robbie Robertson. Goodbye, everybody.